betrayal is a blow from the shadows, leaving the deepest scars, for the traitor's knife touches the spine before piercing the back. No enemy can inflict such a devastating blow as one who has been granted trust. A stranger's lie cannot shatter the bones of trust as does the betrayal of a loved one, admitted into the soul's inner sanctum. Yet, however sharp the pain of betrayal, it is not new. It is an ancient truth etched into the lives of all who are strong enough to stand by their convictions, thereby tempting cowards to strike from behind. The mind relentlessly asks, why? Why did they turn away? Why did loyalty rot? Why does the hand that feeds become the first target to bite? But there is no answer in this question, only chaotic noise, restless, flipping through old scenes in the consciousness, as if rewatching the moment could soften its pain. But that will never happen. Betrayal does not become less painful from understanding its causes. One can only prepare for it, expect it, endure it, accept it, survive it, refusing to break the spine that has felt the blade. Weakness lies in the illusion that betrayal can be prevented. No vigilance can guard every door. No kindness can buy eternal loyalty from a heart too small to keep its word. Ancient philosophers knew this not because they were callous, but because they understood the nature of human contradictions. A person can swear allegiance in the light of day and hide a knife for the night's darkness. A friend may be there in minor storms, but disappear at the first roll of thunder that demands true courage. In this regard, the mind must grasp this immutable truth. The act of betrayal itself is not the deep wound, rather, the painful attachment to that wound becomes so. The strike of betrayal may be instantaneous, but the pain from it lasts much longer, as the ego stubbornly clings to the illusory hope that trust could have curbed others' vices, be it fear, envy, or greed. But one must understand that no bonds can tame a soul that finds sustenance in its own pettiness. A person can be betrayed by others only once, but their own mind betrays them many times. If they continue to reopen the wound of betrayal long after the knife has been withdrawn, it is here that inner discipline comes to the rescue, saving the spirit from destruction. This discipline does not make betrayal impossible, but it deprives it of the power to destroy what it has touched. A mind consumed by the thirst for revenge becomes a mind controlled by the ghost of the traitor. A mind absorbed in self-pity allows the traitor's shadow to govern each day. A philosopher, like a Stoic, realizes that betrayal exists outside the walls of the fortress. It cannot penetrate the gates unless the mind itself lets it in. Therefore, when betrayal happens, as it inevitably will, the gaze must be directed inward, but not to blame oneself for another's treachery, but to protect the only thing that cannot be distorted, self-control. Humanity will face this inevitable phenomenon again and again. The richer and more vibrant life becomes, the sharper the trials and challenges that arise. Defending one's convictions and values inevitably attracts envy, doubts, and fears that may lurk beneath a mask of false loyalty until the moment of severe testing arrives. Constant contemplation of the possibility of betrayal only amplifies its potential impact. Repetitive thoughts of betrayal can profoundly alter a person's character. One who has experienced betrayal begins to trust others less, becomes less open, and avoids displays of warmth, fearing that another blow may be hidden behind it. However, such detachment does not provide protection for the heart. Rather, it makes the task easier for new betrayals. Constant suspicion, loneliness, and a gradually poisoning belief that isolation is the only way to protect oneself weaken the spirit. No one can guarantee absolute safety, but the Stoics never sought it. Their goal was resilience, the ability to withstand the blows of fate. Betrayal is a more serious test of resilience than any open enemy. Open confrontation only tempers character, while hidden betrayal tests inner armor. The fear of betrayal is sometimes worse than betrayal itself, as it makes the mind vulnerable, the heart cautious, and the steps hesitant. And so, this lesson will be repeated until it is learned. Physical pain is an undeniable fact of life, but succumbing to the destructive impact of that pain is a personal choice for everyone. In this process, the strength of desire also plays an important role. In particular, the desire for loyalty to be mirrored, returned in the same measure as it was shown. A person may crave a sense of duty based on loyalty, even if no one else shares that obligation. However, Stoic philosophy offers a different path, calling for self-control capable of incinerating such desires. Do not expect others to show feelings they may not be able to experience. Do not strive for loyalty that must be begged for, or praise that can be used as a tool of manipulation. When betrayal occurs, it only confirms that previous notions were nothing more than convenient illusions. The person who was trusted was not honest and strong enough to support in a difficult moment. Betrayal is like a cut, exposing what has always been hidden beneath the surface: fear disguised as friendship, envy covered by alliance, or a trembling hand passed off as support. Realizing the true nature of things brings peace. Remaining true to one's principles and unwavering means proving that the most important thing is faith in one's own ability to endure. Let them leave, let their words stick in their throats like an unspoken curse. Let the sharp blade of their malice find no vulnerability in you, unable to deliver a fatal blow. In the end, only silence remains. But this silence is not emptiness, but the echoing hum of a soul that refuses to bear the burden of past grievances. Forgiveness is not forgetting, but severing the chain that binds the mind to the inflicted evil. It is an opportunity to move forward, keeping the most important corners of one's essence untouched. The weak in spirit crave justice, seeing comfort in it. They seek the humiliation of the traitor, their exposure and subjugation before the face of the pain inflicted. However, justice chained to the past enslaves the one who demands it. True justice lies in standing calmly, allowing the traitor to see in your silence what they failed to break. The ego resists this, striving to shout out the truth, to expose the wound to everyone who is ready to nod sympathetically. But words devalue the lesson. The knife has already struck. The cut has already taught. What else needs to be proven? It is better to keep silent than to shout loudly in an echo chamber of justifications. Let betrayal shape inner defenses, not build impregnable walls around. The walls should remain open enough to let in new loyalty when it earns its place. Close them too tightly, and the fortress built for protection will turn into a tomb forever burying warmth. Betrayal breeds whispering never again, but never again is a prison that lets neither betrayers nor trust pass through. Betrayal leaves scars but does not necessarily infect the soul. Rise up. Let the bruise remind you of what happened, but do not let it control you. Remain open but cautious, calm enough to see through the mask of false loyalty. Betrayal becomes a severe test for a person, not for the one who commits it. Just as the spine is tested for strength under the blow of a knife, so too is the soul tested by betrayal. Will anger restrain itself and not break out? Will the lesson learned heal the wound inflicted? There is no magic protection against betrayal, but there is an opportunity to gradually strengthen one's mind so that it does not need what it cannot give itself. Fear loses its power. The noise of the outside world ceases to disturb, and the personality becomes so deep that it cannot be broken. When betrayal does strike, one must remain in place, becoming even stronger. Forgiveness is granted not for the sake of the traitor, but for the sake of preserving one's own freedom. Let betrayal only strengthen inner peace, not destroy it. Let the knife cut through illusions, not the very essence of a person. Old wounds should remind one of what they refuse to be. When silence comes and the mind replays the scene of betrayal, let it shatter against inner peace. There is nothing more to pierce the soul. One who possesses firmness of spirit needs no armor, except for a mind that does not bow to any ghosts. Betrayal strikes only once. Discipline determines whether the wound will continue to bleed.